it's interesting you brought up Norman Brinker, being in the restaurant industry. I read the book, his biography, and someone that always seemed like he was larger than life, from a personality standpoint, the things he was able to accomplish. Is there one thing that stuck with you from you having an opportunity to be with him? And
it's a great question. And it's one of the notes I took coming over here, because you were talking about best piece of advice. And Norman was CEO, founder of Steak and Ale, which was Steak and Ale and Bennigan's restaurants at the time, early 1970s, about 1973. And Pillsbury, which was the parent company of Burger King, bought Steak and Ale. Norman went on the board. Burger King was having some management issues at the top, so Norman became acting CEO. And I, at the time, was exec VP of marketing. I'd been in operations as a region manager, came back to run marketing. He promoted me to be president of Burger King USA. And I was in the job maybe a month. I walked into his office at the end of one day, and I had written this very prescriptive memo to one of my head ops guys, laying out not just what I wanted him to accomplish, but how to do it. And, demonstrating what a genius I was. And I walked into Norman's office and he said, "Hey," he's sitting there with his feet up. "I saw that note you sent to Bill." And I thought I was going to get patted on the back. He says, "I got a thought for you." I said, "What's that, Norm?" He says, "Next time, just tell Bill what you want him to accomplish. Leave it up to him to figure out how to do it." I said, "Now, you're going to learn two things. One is how smart Bill is, and he just might come up with a couple ideas you haven't thought of." That's probably early 1982, and I have, lived by that notion ever since, and have become just a fanatic about full team engagement. But it all goes back to that. It probably took me 5 years to get it through my skull, but probably the single best piece of advice.
Yeah, leadership in some respects can be generational, and I think that part of maybe your generation or earlier generation is kind of a top-down approach. We take pride with Grain and Grit on having this collective process. We said the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and we try to get as many people involved in the decision-making process as possible, although it doesn't always make sense. But it seems like Brinker was kind of one of the first guys that got that and really implemented it.
That's really a good observation. He's the first guy we ever saw.
Yeah.
I think of our whole management team at Burger King. We were used to top down, and his predecessor was a killer.
Yes.
Who's probably one of the smartest people I ever met in the industry, a guy named Don Smith. But he was definitely top down, super dynamic, super intimidating. And Norman came in after that. There was an interim person, but we had never seen anybody like Norman. Here's the guy who's been hugely successful, and he's worth a ton of money. He's got an incredible reputation in the industry, and he's asking us questions. Shocking in the beginning, but it was, again, Norman always taught by acting out what he wanted you to do. If you visited a restaurant, you needed to watch him, because he was teaching without saying he was teaching. He taught us by behavior.